Fourth Patriarch Master Fazhao. Great Master Fazhao was born in 747 CE, in what was known as Shaanxi Hanzong, now Yang County in Shaanxi Province. Having renounced household life at a young age, among the patriarchs of the Pure Land tradition, he had the most recorded incidents of spiritual connection with response. In the Tang dynasty's Yongtai year, 765 CE, Great Master was 18, as he greatly admired Great Master Weiyuan's illustrious legacy. He traveled to Mount Lu's Donglan Monastery, to connect to the Pure Land Bodhimanda practice center. Later, due to cultivation of samadhi from mindfulness of Buddha, he reached the land of ultimate bliss. He saw a monastic wearing dirty and tattered robes, attending beside the Buddha. With the Buddha's clear indication, he came to know that he was Mount Hang's Chengyuan, the third patriarch of the Pure Land tradition. After which, he directly went towards Nanyu's Mount Hang, and found Great Master Chengyuan within its rocky valleys. Thereafter, through Great Master Chengyuan, he focused upon cultivation of the Pure Land teachings. At that time, Mount Hang had much fame as a practice center for mindfulness of Buddha. Over tens of thousands came to learn. After receiving the authentic tradition of the Pure Land teachings from Great Master Chengyuan, Great Master Fazhao was even more focused and dedicated to diligent and untiring cultivation of the Dharma door of mindfulness of Buddha. In the second year, he started to propagate the Dharma of the 5 assemblies of mindfulness of Buddha. Great Master made lifelong commitment to enter the practice center for Pratyupana mindfulness of Buddha every summer for 90 days. In the same year, at Chang'an's Zhongjing Monastery's Pure Land Hall, relying on the Immeasurable Life Sutra, he composed the praise of Pure Land's 5 assemblies of mindfulness of Buddha's outline of Dharma rites and rituals. After that, with the Pure Land's 5 assemblies of mindfulness of Buddha's recitation of sutras and visualization practices rites, he detailed introduced the Dharma door of 5 assemblies of mindfulness of Buddha. In Tang Dynasty, Emperor Daizong's Dali's second year, 767 CE, at Nanyue Yunfeng, Great Master happened to look within his alms bowl, and saw auspicious clouds around a high mountain's monastery. To the valley stream's northern face was a stone gate, within which was a monastery, with the name, Monastery of the Great Sages Bamboo Grove, De Sheng Zulinzi, in golden characters. Although Great Master saw these scenes clearly, he still suspected that it could be his imagination. After a period of time, when eating alms food, he saw within the alms bowl again 5 colored auspicious clouds and towering pavilions. Even seeing Manjusri Bodhisattva with many sages in an assembly, teaching the Dharma from the sutras. Only after finishing the alms food, did the scenes then disappear. Great Master inquired of other monks, before knowing they were scenes of the mountain range of 5 terraces, which is Wataishan, the holy mountain of Manjusri Bodhisattva, therefore giving rise to strong aspiration to make a pilgrimage there. However, conditions that obstructed were extremely many, such that he was yet to be able to accomplish his traveling. In the summer of the Dali's 4th year, 769 CE, when Great Master was at Hangzhou's Hudong Monastery to initiate the place for practice of the 5 assemblies of mindfulness of Buddha, there was the auspicious response of 5 colored clouds completely covering the monastery. Within the auspicious clouds appeared many towering pavilions and monasteries. Amitabha Buddha, Iyamatuofo, and 2 bodhisattvas with tall and huge forms filled the sky. All who participated in the Dharma assembly saw them clearly, with each prostrating reverently with enthusiastic joy. Such was the scene that continued for 4 hours before it disappeared. Sacred B-Day of Kundi Bodhisattva. That night, where mindfulness of Buddha was practiced, Great Master met an old man, who said to him, as the Dharma Master once gave Rose to the aspiration to make a pilgrimage to the Mountain of 5 Terraces, why are you, for so long, still not traveling there? Great Master replied, as obstacles and difficulties are extremely many, and the journey to it is far, how can I go? The old man said, as long as you are willing to be determined, how can the path being distant and rough be able to obstruct you? Having finished speaking, he suddenly disappeared. Both surprised and joyful, Great Master, before the Buddha image renewed his vows, waited for the Dharma assembly for mindfulness of Buddha to come to an end. Before immediately setting off, even if fires gathered and rivers froze, he was determined to never retreat. Thus, together with a number of those with the same aspiration, they embarked on the journey with inspiration, which did indeed go smoothly. In Dali 5th year, 770 CE, on the 5th day of the 4th month, Great Master and 4 others reached the Mountain of 5 Terraces. Receiving illumination of the Buddha's light for guidance, they searched for and found the monastery of the great sages Bamboo Grove, where Manjusri Bodhisattva and Samantabhadra Bodhisattva were seen sitting upright upon the lion's treasure throne. For the assembly speaking the Dharma, which could be heard distinctly. After reverently prostrating to the 2 great bodhisattvas, Great Master asked, the Dharma ending ages ordinary beings, are away from the sages. Distant in time, with knowledge transformed to be lowly, with obstacles from defilements that are especially deep, with their Buddha nature unable to appear. The Buddha's Dharma doors are vast, and I have yet to examine them all, to know which Dharma door is the most essential. I only wish the great sage, can break my doubt's web. Manjusri Bodhisattva answered, you now should practice mindfulness of Buddha, as now is the right time. Of all doors to cultivate practices, there is none like mindfulness of Buddha, an offering to the triple gem, of Buddhas, Dharma and Sangha, to cultivate both blessings and wisdom. These 2 Dharma doors are the most essential paths. When within past kalpas, due to contemplation of Buddha thus, due to mindfulness of Buddha thus, due to making of offerings thus, have now attained the all-knowing wisdom of Buddhahood. This is thus as all Dharma teachings, prajna paramita, i.e. perfection of wisdom, extremely profound, meditative, concentrations, and even all Buddhas, all from mindfulness of Buddha arise. Thus know that mindfulness of Buddha is the king of all Dharma doors. You should constantly be mindful of this unsurpassable Dharma king, enabling it to never rest. Great Master again asked, how should I be mindful of Buddha? Manjusri Bodhisattva taught, from this world to the west is Amida, Bha, Buddha, i.e. Amatuofo. That Buddha's power of vows is inconceivable. You should continually be mindful of him, e.g. via his name, enabling it to be without interruption. After the end of this life, you will definitely attain rebirth there, to forever never retrogress. After speaking, the Bodhisattva, for Great Master, rubbed his crown, and for him conferred this prediction, you, with mindfulness of Buddha thus, not long after, will realize unsurpassable, right and equally, perfect, Bodhi, i.e. enlightenment of Buddhahood. If there are good men, women and others who aspire to quickly accomplish as Buddhas, there is no better way than to be mindful of Amitabha, Buddha, i.e. Amituofo, thus able to swiftly realize unsurpassable Bodhi, i.e. enlightenment of Buddhahood. Having completed speaking, the two great sages spoke to each other in verse. Great Master reverently listened, and was filled with Dharma joy, before prostrating as they departed. In an instant, everything in the earlier scene suddenly disappeared. Feeling sorrowful, Great Master thus, at the original spot erected a giant piece of stone, using it to provide commemoration. Later, receiving an old Indian monk's advice, he shared what he heard with all his Dharma friends, and at the original spot emulated what he saw, by constructing a magnificent monastery, named as the Monastery of the Great Sages Bamboo Grove. In Dali's 12th year, 777 CE, when Great Master led 8 disciples for diligent practice of mindfulness of Buddha at the Mountain of 5 Terraces, at the East Peak, they saw, among unusually splendid and colorful clouds with Manjusri Bodhisattva riding upon a blue-furred lion. At that moment, snowflakes fluttered in the sky, as the 5-colored halo of Manjusri Bodhisattva extended everywhere in the mountains and valleys. After this, Great Master's conviction and motivation for focusing upon mindfulness of Buddha increased and strengthened. He strived diligently in practice, in day and night, wasting no time. Great Master often practiced Pratyupana Samadhi, and cultivated the 5 assemblies of mindfulness of Buddha in Samadhi. He also used the practice method of 5 assemblies of mindfulness of Buddha to teach. At that time, as Emperor Daizong was at Chang'an City, often hearing the sound of mindfulness of Buddha from the northeast, he dispatched an envoy to search for its source, thus reaching Mount Wutai's Mountain of 5 Terraces, Julin Monastery. Thereupon, the emperor decreed conferment of Great Master as the state preceptor, nation's spiritual advisor. Great Master also taught those in the palace how to cultivate the 5 assemblies of mindfulness of Buddha. Later in 784 CE, Emperor Dezong also invited the Great Master into the palace to teach it. Therefore, Great Master was also named Dharma Master of the 5 assemblies. One day, during practice of mindfulness of Buddha, an Indian monk entered the Bodhimanda and said to him, "Your Pure Land flower dais has already appeared. 3 years later, the flower will blossom, and you will then be reborn." After 3 years, Great Master personally knew that the time had come for him to go to the Pure Land, as he told all in the Great Assembly, "My practice is complete." After saying so, he sat in the lotus position and peacefully departed. Among the patriarchs of the Pure Land tradition, those conferred as state preceptor were few. Later generations honored the Great Master as the Pure Land tradition's 4th patriarch. Other than having a teacher and student relationship with the 3rd patriarch Great Master Chengyuan, at the same time, he had extraordinary contributions in propagating the Dharma door of mindfulness of Buddha.